pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and to and justice for all.
Good morning, I'm Griffin.
And I'm Sarah. Today is Tuesday, March 1st. Welcome to Central Student News.
Spirit Week has started. Tomorrow is Decades Day and Thursday is Grade Color Day. 7th graders wear white, 8th graders wear red, and staff wear green.
The Central Spirit Assembly will be held the week after spring break. If you have a group that would like to perform, please see Ms. Olivieri or Assistant Principal Ms. Jen before spring break.
I'm sure you all know that next week is spring break. Enjoy the time off, but don't forget to spring forward the last weekend of spring break for daylight saving time. Why do we have daylight saving time or DST? Watch this short movie that explains a bit about DST.
Twice a year, lots of people around the world move their clocks backwards or forward, wreaking havoc on mornings across the globe. But why? What's the point of daylight savings? Let's find out on today's episode of
Colossal Question.
Credit for the idea of daylight savings time, or DST, is often given to a famous founding father, super inventor Benjamin Franklin. However, that's not quite right. While in France in 1784, Franklin, ever the jokester, wrote an anonymous essay suggesting people could save money on candles by waking up earlier and using the sunlight, but he never said anything about changing the clocks. That came over 100 years later, when an avid bug collector in New Zealand named George Hudson first proposed daylight savings time as we know it. You see, he had a job that left him with enough afternoon hours to get his bug collecting in, but having daylight in the afternoon was crucial. He wrote a paper suggesting we shift the clock by 2 hours for part of the year to help save his precious evening daylight. But it wasn't until the First World War that it really caught on. First, the German Empire and Austria-Hungary introduced daylight savings time in 1916. Then Britain, France, and the Allies did the same. Soon, the rest of Europe started using it, and a year later, Russia was on board. Last but not least, the US adopted daylight saving in 1918. Most countries in North America and Europe kept using DST after the end of the Second World War, and in the 1970s, it was officially adopted. There's 2 different versions of DST on Earth, one for the Northern Hemisphere and one for the Southern. Daylight saving time is much less important the closer you live to the equator. That's because daylight hours and nighttime hours stay basically the same all year round. That's why most places near the equator have never bothered with DST. Even though the US has daylight savings time, there are a few places near the equator that don't. Hawaii, most of Arizona, Puerto Rico, the US Virgin Islands, and American Samoa. So that's why we have DST. But does it really make a difference? That really depends on where you live. And now you know why we have daylight savings in the US.
It's time to announce the Husker High Five. We have 6 students to highlight this week. Gladys Gaio was nominated by Ms. James for reading the most pages in class for homework and reading her self-choice novel. Ms. Swan and Ms. Fiona nominated Jean Sonnenberg and Alana Klein for their help organizing classroom material.
Ms. Gephardt gave a shout out to Sean Henry for being a student expert in advanced computer tech and helping other students troubleshoot. Ms. James recognized Hunter Knight for helping without being asked and being prepared with finished homework. And our last Husky High Five this week goes to Matthias Register from Miss Olivieri for showing maturity and being a better role model in the hallway.
Congratulations to these Husker High Five students. Remember to stop by the office to claim your Central swag.
We have another Central Sports report for you this morning. Last Wednesday, the Central Cross Country Ski Team had an awesome meet at Judiac High School. Tomorrow, the team will compete in the championships at 5:30 p.m. at Kincaid Park. Feel free to come cheer on your skiers, and if you see them in the hall, wish them good luck.
And now here's the weather forecast with our CMSS meteorologist.
Good morning. Not a lot is changing on the weather front as we head into spring break. Expect mostly cloudy skies and a chance of snow all week. High temperatures could reach 45 degrees and lows will remain in the 20s. Now back to you, Griffin.
Thank you, Isaiah. Lunch for today is cheese pizza or chicken taco, Fiesta black beans, an orange, and milk. Wednesday's lunch is pepperoni pizza, popcorn chicken, mashed potatoes, a banana, and milk. Thank you for joining us for this edition of the CMSS Student News. We'll be back on Thursday. Have a great day, Central.